What's up, everybody? Welcome to Target Focus Life. Today we're taking a look at the Pointer Acrius over under 20 gauge shotgun. So if you're looking for a detailed and in-depth review of this shotgun, you've come to the right place. Ready? Let's go! All right, we're gonna get to what I think of this shotgun in a little bit, but let's first look at what the manufacturer has to say, which is Pointer, imported by Legacy Sports International. The Acrius series is affordable, reliable, and natural upgrade for an experienced hunter or for a youngster's first shotgun. Okay, the Pointer Acrius is a solid option. From the field to the range, Pointer Acrius over-unders provide exceptional craftsmanship with a variety of popular gauges. There you have it. Okay, so the MSRP of the Acrius, this is the color case hardened version. There's simpler versions. I think they're a little less expensive. This is $4.99. We're talking about an over-under shotgun that is under $500. So what can we expect out of it? Well, we will definitely take a look at that. This is a 20 gauge, but it's also available in 12, 28, and 410. So you have some different options there. When it comes to length of pull, manufacturer says it is 14 inches. Look at that. It looks like it is just a hair over 14 inches. That's rather short. There are youth models available as well. I gotta feel this, 14 inches. Yeah, I can tell that's definitely short for me. I'm generally 14 and a half to 14 3/4-ish range. And you'll see if I mount this up, my nose is pretty close to my thumb. Part of that's having a big nose, but hey, I can't change that. So longer gun is helpful. So a little bit short for me. As far as drop on this shotgun, let's take a quick peek at that. About 1 3/8. Drop at the heel is 2 3/8. So we have 1 inch drop, which is fairly typical on a field gun. So let's take a look at weight. Manufacturer says the weight is, evidently I didn't find it on their website, so I don't know what they said, but let's take a look at what the weight is. 7 pounds, 4.7 ounces. Fairly light field gun, but it is a 20 gauge, so it's not maybe as light as others could be. 5 extended choke tubes. Of course, if I was gonna hold onto this gun and use it, I'd throw in my Carlson's link and discount code down in the description. One last thing we're gonna take a look at with the specs is the trigger. This does have a mechanical trigger. Kind of a long reset there. And I'm gonna say, ooh, it's under 8 pounds, that's for sure. Right around 7 pounds, to be exact. 6 pounds, 15 ounces, which is technically really close to 7 pounds. Let's try that second trigger. 6 pounds, 11 ounces, even lighter yet. On these cheap shotguns, generally the triggers are terrible. I didn't love the pull of this trigger, just the feel of it, but light, it is light. And it's a mechanical trigger. That's pretty cool at this price point with this type of gun. Okay, let's look at ergonomics. In the hands, first thing I notice is it's a little wide for a small gun. If I got my 20 gauge field gun and I'm hunting, I like a little bit narrower grip. That might be a personal preference thing. The forend, though, is narrow. Not much for contours, a little bit of a schnabel forend right here. You can see it narrows right there. Otherwise, it's pretty boxy, but it feels comfortable. I don't love the grip. I think they could shave some weight by making that a little bit smaller too if you want to make this a nice light field gun. We got a hard rubber pad. We'll see what recoil feels like this. If there's much recoil to it, I'd throw a Falcon Strike on here. Link for that in the description. Generally, you're gonna find, even on the higher dollar shotguns, the pads suck, right? On cheap shotguns, they definitely suck. Even on a lot of $1,000, $1,500, $1,800 shotguns, pads still suck. But top tang safety with a barrel selector, kind of a pretty rigid industrial selector there. Nothing too fancy on that. Top lever has a little bit of detail engraved on there. It is color case, which I think looks pretty cool. I'm always a sucker for the color case hardened. Vented barrels, vented rib. The rib is flat. Nice fiber on the front. If this is the first review you've watched of mine, you might not know I'm being sarcastic, but I really don't like fibers. I'm more of just a brass bead, but that's my personal opinion. Wood grade, I mean, it's a low wood grade. Nothing fancy on the wood. But again, we're talking a sub $500 over under shotgun. So I'm not going to be too particular. If it works well, functions well, dust clays, I'm going to be pretty happy with it. The checkering is not aggressive at all. You barely notice it, to be honest with you. I'd maybe like a little bit more texture or grip personally, but on a 20 gauge, not the end of the world. I want to shoot this gun. I want to look at recoil and reliability. Now, I can judge recoil pretty decent. Reliability on this is going to be hard, right? Does it shoot every time I pull the trigger? Basically is what I'm looking at. But if you have this gun and you have a lot of experience with it, we'd love to hear your experience, whether it's in the TFL community, which is free to join, by the way, or whether it's right down here in the comments in YouTube. So let's say we're walking along and a pheasant rooster pops up, hey! And then another one gets up, because I missed that one. By the way, does not have ejectors. It has extractors, so we can just grab the shells. But it's not going to kick them out for you, which on a field gun, I definitely don't mind. I think it's nice just to grab my shells. I can stick them in my pocket instead of ejecting them into the field. Oh, dust. Nice. It's actually shooting pretty well. Even when I warmed up with this gun, took a few shots, like I started hitting clays really quick, smoking them very decently, so much so that I want to do it again. Rooster! What? Huh? Oh, look at that. Just crushing them with this 20 gauge. I missed that one because this gun doesn't fit me. If a gun doesn't fit and you can't make it fit you, you shouldn't buy it. This gun's way too short. The drop is wrong for me. And I'm pretty good at manipulating guns, but I have to really be conscious about how I'm manipulating it to make it work for me. So on this gun, I need to cheat it. I need to mount to my face and then back. I can't, it's gonna mount like that. I can't mount this gun here and get my face. If a gun doesn't fit, you have to cheat it. I like the way this gun handles. I like the way it takes recoil, even with this crappy pad on. We are shooting 20 gauge, but you know, if we were pheasant hunting, this might change things a little bit. We're going to the prairie storm. We gotta have the good stuff. Oh, dust. That one was already injured, came out injured. Actually, not bad. Not bad at all. I'm a little surprised. Recoil straight back into my shoulder. Very manageable. Very impressed with that. Let's quickly break this gun down and just take a look at the pieces we have. You know, I think this is gonna last a while. Cheap guns, sometimes you wonder how they're constructed. This looks pretty solid. Now, I do gotta say, just by playing with it, the one thing that concerns me are tolerances. So if I open this gun up, it just feels really loose. And I'm worried about it just getting sloppy over time. I mean, it already feels a little sloppy, but it might be just fine over time. And at this price point, if it lasts you 3, 4 years, 5 years, unless you're shooting high volumes, it's probably gonna be just fine. This is not a gun you're gonna wanna go out and shoot trap with and shoot 20,000 rounds a year. No, absolutely not. But for a field gun to take out occasionally, should be just fine. Last thing I wanna look at with this gun is just really putting myself on the clock and shooting fast. Now I speed shoot and I time it because I want to see when I'm under pressure, when I got to get up and boom, boom, take those shots. How does that trigger feel? How does it mount? How does everything come together? So let's do that now. 102. When a gun doesn't fit, it does not mount naturally. I'm just having a little trouble with that, but a 102 split of a 2.4. The trigger is not overly heavy, but I feel like it's giving me some trouble. Now this is a little faster than what you're probably gonna be shooting birds. Boy! I threw early. 2.5 split. Trigger gave me a little bit of issue. I'm not gonna worry about getting a super fast time with this gun. It doesn't fit me. Oh yeah, that felt good. 113, okay. Not lightning fast, but I had a 2-6 split, which is not lightning fast, but I think you're not shooting birds that fast, right? You're not boom, boom, shooting birds like that. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this gun. If it's gonna fit you, that's a big thing. Can you make it fit you? You can always get pads, extend length of pull a little bit, but for the money, to have an over-under shotgun that you could take in the field, beat around the bush, do whatever you're doing, like this would be a great gun. I would let my son take this out and pheasant hunt with it. I think it'd be a great option for that. It wouldn't be my preference, but if my budget that I was working with was 500 bucks, I think this is definitely a contender to look at. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Put the comments down below what you think of this gun. If you have it, what your experience has been with it. Appreciate your feedback. Remember, whether you're in the field or in life, you're only gonna hit those shots you're laser focused on. So live, target, focus. See ya.